All right, here we are. Welcome, everybody. Reboot Hill. Boot Hill season, second edition from 1979, once again. In the last episode, well, y'all, in the last episode of our show.
Muted.
I'm muted. No, I'm back up. It's okay. I forgot for a second there. In the last episode,
Zoom.
we were at the OK Corral. In the last episode, we were at the OK Corral, and Calvin, and we screwed up that history lesson real bad. But in the end, we got all the bad guys. Now, Sheriff Earp did manage to apprehend so-called bad guys and staunch the bleeding on one. I do believe he did it with a branding iron, which is none too pretty. Smells like barbecue. And so there's going to be a trial here in Promise City. I look like your granddad. You're fired. Get out of here. There's going to be a trial in Promise City of these boys. And Sheriff Earp had asked our player characters here to stick around for a bit. So let's find out who they are. We're going to go through the interface just like it is there. Hello, Lich.
Hi, I'm Preacher Thomas. Tell you what, I don't work for Earp. But this ain't a bad place to stick around for a little while. These two seem like competent folk, so thought I'd stick around. There's probably a lot of people need some saving around here.
All right. And Snacks, who you got there?
Well, hi there. I'm Angelina Everly. You can call me Belle. I'm a native Texan, and let's just say I like to help keep things orderly around. Some of these boys get a little out of sorts.
Mm-hmm. And finally, we got the Bart Crocs.
I'm playing Dakota Jack Davis, former Union Cavalry Scout, former Trapper, and Earp's an okay boss.
So, Wyatt asked you, he says you could call him Wyatt. That's a pretty big deal because he makes everyone else call him Sheriff Earp. He asked if you would if you'd stick around town for a few days because we're gonna have a trial and hang these some bitches. And so he put you up at the Mariposa. You can see it there behind Bell.
Oh.
And he says, you know, just keep a keen eye out there for anyone looking suspicious like they're gonna try something on hanging day. And so he's footed your bills. For the last couple days, you've healed up from that battle that you had just down the street over what the heck was the name of that place where you had that
Fly's Boarding House.
Fly's Boarding House, that's right, Fly's Boarding House. So you all healed up and you're all good to go. Got your ammo reloaded, and oh look, the Lich has already got a luck point.
Take your chill out corner.
Put it up on the, well, everyone, it's on the interface already. Let's see. That one. There we go. All right. Got one bullet in the chamber for the Lich. For Preacher Thomas, I mean. Sorry, Preacher.
It's all right. Hope you don't need no saving later.
I hope I don't need no
for your
saving
sake.
later either. I'm beyond saving.
Oh, no one's beyond saving. Ain't nobody run that fast yet.
All right. So, the town is abuzz with this here hanging that's going to go on today. And people are quite excited because these boys, they've been shooting up the place pert near every week, it seems like. And so they're all happy to be seeing these outlaws get what they deserve. So there's a bunch of new people hanging about at the saloon and the Mariposa. People you haven't seen for since you've been here for the last couple days. You've been here about a couple weeks now total, but people started filtering in after that fight. Word moved fast by Pony Express.
I noticed some of the people, but I spent a lot of my time at the local what do you call it? The local tavern, helping to save the ladies who work there. Convince them that their ways are there's better ways to live.
Trying to show them the light.
It keeps me from killing. Keeps me from killing people.
All right. What about you, Belle? What you been up to these past few days? There's a bunch of new people in town.
Well, I had to recover a little bit because I did get shot, but I'm feeling a lot better. And I got to say, these girls around here certainly know how to show some hospitality. They made sure I stayed well fed and well rested. Got to swap some stories a little bit. So good, hard-working women here at the Mariposa.
Thought you said flop some stories. I was like, oh, swap some stories. Got it.
Swap some stories.
Swap some stories.
Swap some stories at the flop house. All right, Bart Croc, or sorry, Dakota Jack. Getting names confused.
Dakota Jack is going to, well, let's see. So actually, I bought 5 shooters, not 6 shooters. Did I make enough money off the OK Corral to like upgrade to an extra chamber there?
So you're talking to the local gunsmith, and you say, you tell him that you want to trade the guns in that you got.
Yeah, I want to trade the 5-shooter in for 5-shooter. Trade my 5-shooter in for 2 6-shooters. I think you said we did get some money from Herb, right?
What kind of 5-shooter you got right now?
Let's see.
The guy, the gunsmith. People just call him Gunny.
Howdy, Gunny.
Ancient profession.
Let's see. So, I guess I can just look on my character sheet here.
It was either a fast draw or
it's a fast draw.
You got a fast draw? All right. So a 5-shot is 35 and a 6-shot is 40. And just for the simple fact that you were in that gunfight, he believes that that gun could probably be sold for just around $35. So he's more than happy to swap that and $5 for a brand new 6-shooter. Well, a newer 6-shooter.
Okay. I mean, the rest of my time, I'm going to, drink conservatively and look for side jobs.
All right. You get a couple things like people are still a little skittish, even though much of this gang has been rounded up now and shot. But some people still talk about some other gang members that haven't been caught yet. So going from town to town, from Promise City to Desperation, is a pretty rough ride. And so you picked up a gig as a gun hand, riding over to Desperation and back with some folks that had some money on the line. So they said if you know some friends, we'll take them too.
Okay, well, I will approach the preacher and Belle and see if they're interested in riding over to Desperation, did you say?
I did. It is Desperation.
Y'all want to take a little trip to Desperation?
I'm getting sores sitting around. Let's do it.
All right.
And at this point, have we settled up all of our money here, or?
You sure you're feeling all right, Belle?
Oh, I don't know.
You took that bullet.
You did get shot pretty hard.
I did.
I forget if I got shot or not.
I don't think you did.
No, paid.
Okay.
I think only Belle actually took some serious damage. I think everybody else was pretty okay there.
Yeah, I couldn't remember if we were supposed to see a man about some money or.
Well, that was
at the fort.
Yeah.
Right. So you can stop at Fort Desperation. Well, you can ride out to Fort Desperation as a gun hand on this small caravan that's going. Hey, Chill Out says, drink them up. All right, I'm going to drink some of this.
Ooh, caravan.
You're on caravan duty because there's goblin gang hanging around.
Yeah. Well, if it's along the way to get paid for this last what's the last what's the old word for gig?
Oh yeah,
gunfight.
Taking in those
gunfight.
I'm down for shooting some goblins.
Bounty. There we go.
Bounty.
Yeah, make sure we got the bounty on those boys we took out last time, about a week ago. But totally makes sense to make some money along the way, you know.
Yeah, if you recall, Erp had given you some signed documents that were worth the bounty on a couple of them, and so desperation is the fort, and so the people that Dakota Jack has run into says they're going out there, and then they've got some business there, and then they're going to come back right away, and they sure would like some armed escorts, because it's about a half day each way, so it'll be a full day of riding out and back.
All right, I need to get on the road. I need to taste the dust.
Yeah, Belle's definitely ready to get out and stretch her legs as well.
All right. You so you saddle up and you meet the clients, Dakota Jack's clients, and they're like, "Oh, great, 3, excellent. That's definitely better than 1, because the road, once you get close to desperation, the cavalry is riding out there, but on the first half of the trip, it gets pretty dangerous out on the outskirts, on the wilds around Promise City here, and so they ride out early that next day, and they ride hard.
Hey, who are these Mertens? I'm sorry, I missed you. Who are you working for?
Just some folks with some business at the fort, they said.
I got a hard eye. Anything I noticed about these people? Is this good business or?
They seem to be pretty mum on what it is they're doing at the fort.
Okay.
They do say that they're meeting with the army there to take care of some business. They don't really tell you much more than that.
I got one hard eye on them and another hard eye on the prairie.
All right.
How many of them are there?
There's 3 of them, so you're 6 in total, riding down the road.
Okay.
Gotcha.
Do they have a wagon or anything, or any kind of goods?
Nope. They got some big saddlebags that look pretty full.
Are they? How well armed are they?
They've got like a rifle. A couple of them have 2 6-shooters. One's got a rifle.
Do they got hard eyes?
They do have hard eyes.
Okay.
Like you ask them about their business, and they just kind of give you that stare, that squint. They're like, I don't believe you need to know anything about our business.
I like to know who I'm shooting for.
Well, hopefully you won't be shooting anybody.
I'll just make sure I have good descriptions of them, because I figure if they ride out to the army base making trouble, the army will make short work of them.
Yeah, Legio says we have to rate them on the grit-o-meter.
That's right.
I would give them a 7.
I need to know how close they need to be to saving.
I would say they're a 7. They got shifty eyes, but when they focus, they got shifty hard eyes. They got those steely gazes of cold-blooded killers.
Yeah.
Snacks gets a luck.
I just gotta see if there's a righteous fire behind that steely killer stare.
So, all right. The trip really goes uneventfully. You see some natives off on one of the ridges, but because of the relative closeness of the fort, they seem to stay away from this main travel road. So this road goes from Promise City to Desperation, and then on to Surprise. That's the name of the city, Surprise.
Surprise!
They were really creative back then. And then you make your way. Then you would come back through Fort Desperation and back to Promise City. the nicest of the places in the region, apparently. So you go out there. They do walk into an office with an army officer. Like, they're just like, avail yourselves of the libations here, which at the fort is mostly just dirty water. But there's a bunch of soldiers, cavalry soldiers and such, sitting around, and they're like, "What's up with those fellas you're with?"
All right, Leno, you seen him before?
One of the other ones like, "Yeah, I think I saw them talking to the Sarge back, gosh, it'd be about a month ago. They come in with some heavy-laden saddlebags, and they leave with some not-so-heavy-laden saddlebags. I'm just not sure what it is they're up to."
Sarge a good guy?
Sarge is the best. He's got us through some rough patches. You don't end up at Fort Desperation if your career has gone right. But Sarge is salt of the earth. Trust him like I trust my own side piece.
We don't know much about them fellas.
What's her name?
I got it. That's why I kind of made that. Like I say, that's not the right term. Sidearm, side piece, whatever. Same thing. I sleep with his.
What's her name? Sorry, modern.
What's their name? That's
what's their name?
Pronoun.
Thank you very much. You're right. There. What's their name?
What's their name? What was the question, Dakota Jack? I didn't hear. Sorry.
I was just going to tell them we don't know those fellas very well. They just wanted some security on the road, hired us.
Those saddlebags did look fuller than usual, so they must have something worth a might bit of money. If they're coming talking to Sarge, Sarge does all the outfitting here at Fort Desperation, and unfortunately, he's been unable to get us booze because the president don't like it. He's one of them teetotaling types. But we can't speak bad about the commander in chief. Just catching up here on what's going on. So Snack's got a luck. Oh, and a luck for Bart. I almost missed this. Yeah, I almost missed that one. There we go. Everyone's got a luck point up on the chamber. One in the chamber. They're there for about an hour. They come back out. The side bags are noticeably lighter than they were on the way in. And they like throw their stuff on the horses. They're like, "We're ready to go. We don't want to be caught out in the wilds at night. Those natives, they'll scalp your head right off."
Is this the same fort we're getting paid, or did we already take care of that?
This is the fort you can get paid at. Yeah.
Oh yeah. Well, did we not get paid yet?
Bounty office right over there.
Do I got a IOU signed from?
Yeah. You have some
Liar.
documents from Earp. He doesn't have that kind of money. So each of you got
Money.
Let's see. So the president at this point is Chester Arthur, and that's quite a recent thing.
Oops, run. Roll
President Arthur.
Yeah, each got $250.
We each got $250.
Rich.
Yes. Yeah.
Wow.
They looked at it and they're like, "This can't be right." And then they talked to each other and they're like, "No, that's Earp's signature. That's definitely right." And they're like, "Well, Holly, y'all got some money coming." Just to put that into perspective for everybody, an excellent horse is $150, whereas the most expensive gun right now is a repeating shotgun at $75. So $250 is a whole lot of money. You could buy a mansion. I don't know if they could buy a mansion with that, considering a horse is $150.
Yippee-ki-yay.
I could build a house one of those. I'm gonna sit and think about the house I could get and build. Maybe back there with Earp, where Earp lives. What was that? What town was that?
Promise City.
Promise City. Maybe in Promise City. I saw a plot just outside of town. Look real nice.
They say, do you want that in U.S. dollars or do you want that in gold?
U.S. dollars, please.
like 2 stacks like this, because it's almost all 1s and 5s. Because a 5 is like a 20 now, or a 50. Sorry, we don't have change for that.
I just feel like gold would be easy. People want to steal it more.
Plus, you're smart to take the dollars because it's a standard exchange rate. Gold varies daily and by location.
Right.
So they're like, oh, these been around. $250 in gold is not that heavy, even back in the 1870s. It's like probably like a chunk like this, maybe.
Well, and we started out with 150, but now we've got 250. Another 250 from that bounty. So.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, great.
Yeah, like right now, an ounce of gold chill out is $1,100 an ounce. Back then, it wasn't quite like that. I don't think. They weighed it. Everything was done in ounces of gold back then, or bags of gold, depending on what it was. Pounds, if you had a good mine, good, what's it called? A good strike, a good plot. All right. So these 3 shifty fellas that you're with, they go in. It takes you way less time to do your bounty business before. So you're done before they are, way before they are. So you're just standing around waiting, talking to these cavalry officers when they come.
Was anybody else in the bounty office when we were getting paid?
Just 3 cavalry members. Okay. There's like one at the desk who must be the clerk, the bookkeeper, and then there was one sitting there with a rifle, fairly attentive, and then there was another one sitting around in the back. Who brought the money out. So they keep it kind of compartmentalized so everybody keeps an eye on everybody else. Yeah, but you can take the cash and like stuff it inside your coats or your saddlebags or whatever. No one here is going to do anything with it.
So I was with the 1st Colorado Cavalry Regiment, but that was over 10 years ago. I don't know if I'll see anybody I know stationed here.
No, like Sarge, a lot of these cavalry are younger, so they were probably coming up as you were getting out, and so they've probably all got 10 years in now, where aside from like Sarge and maybe the fort captain or commander. But you don't see them. Nobody sees them today. They're somewhere in there. They're just busy doing other stuff, high level stuff. Yep, gold was king out there. That's right. So they say we're ready to go. We don't want to be caught out in the dark there on the road in the wilds, because that's how you lose your head and your life. Yeah.
Okay, let's go.
All right. So you head out from Desperation, and you're headed back to Promise City, and you're on the road for a little while, and you see, these shifty guys are kind of like looking behind them. They look real nervous right now. They're looking around, they look behind, look around, look behind them.
You worried about something?
They're like, well, the sun is starting to set here, and we're still a little ways out of Promise City, and just don't want no one sneaking up on us. You know what I mean? And you estimate you're about an hour from Promise City, when you hear a gunshot ring out. And one of the shifty fellas that you're with, his horse goes down, tumbles over him.
I just start galloping away. No, I'm just kidding. I start going for Promise City. I'm kidding.
Only got an hour to go.
Go, get. No, I got my gun out, looking around. A Winchester.
Roll me a... Let me look at your character sheet there, Preacher. Roll me a D100, would you?
Alrighty.
10. That's real good. Yeah, you see like smoke rising from a shrub not too far away. You figure about 100 yards.
That's range, right? It's in range.
100 yards. That's 300 feet. Your Winchester, your 1873. That is the wrong chart. That there is the wrong chart. Here we go. Weapons chart. Long, in spaces or inches. 30 to 60. Yeah, you could hit them. It's going to be long range, so that'll be plus, I believe, plus 20 or minus 20 on your standard accuracy.
I'll send a howdy do.
Sure. So you have to roll under a 49, basically.
Okay.
Ho!
41.
No, you
29.
rolled a 29. 41 is where you hit them.
Right.
Which is, oh man, right in the left shoulder.
Howdy do.
Go ahead and roll me another D100 to see how severe that hit is on them.
52.
52 is a severe wound. So you got right in between the bones in the joint of their shoulder.
I saw regarding Henry. He's gonna forget all of himself and everything. Remember that? There's a board. Never mind.
Yeah.
So, can I follow suit with my buffalo rifle?
Yeah, like Preacher, you see Preacher put up his rifle and fire one off into that bush, and you hear a yelp when he does. You can fire away as well.
Oh boy, the buffalo gun.
It's also should also be minus 20. Buffalo rifle. Actually, they're in medium range for you, so it's only minus 10. That buffalo rifle. Jeez.
It doesn't matter with me rolling a 94.
Yeah.
Oh.
But they know, whoever it is, they know the bullets are coming. When you look down, the alarming thing is that, well, I mean, the shifty-eyed guy and his horse are both dead. Like, the horse broke its neck and then rolled over him, probably doing some severe damage. But the saddlebags came off and spilled their contents of dynamite.
Ooh.
Which is really sketchy stuff back then.
But you know, Belle.
Yes. Belle
has a little bit of a hankering to blow things up now and again. So she's wondering whether it's possible she's looking at the. Because keep in mind, this is the woman who fired the cannon. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
And yeah, so she knows a little bit about munitions. So she's gonna look and see if it's worth saving.
Well, she would also know that jostling things like nitroglycerin and TNT around are not good for your long-term health conditions.
Yep.
And so even the other two shifty guys just kind of, they look down at the TNT sticks and they look up at you and they look down and they're like, well, I ain't picking it up. No telling what's going to happen to it now. I thought he said animal farts, Legio. Animal fats. What's going on in chat?
Greasy animal farts.
Mm-hmm. What you been feeding them, people?
People.
Yeah, so even the shifty dudes are like looking at it like they really should pick it up, but they don't want to. And so then they have a hushed conversation. And the skinnier of them is like carefully the old Western kind of crouch down and slowly creep in towards it, like he's gonna surprise it.
I'm backing up from this.
Bell yells and say, "Hey, boy, before you go to try to pick that up, get some of that dry sagebrush you see over there. Get some of that together first, because you want to put that, keep it a little well padded, keep it dry, keep it padded. So make himself, make sure he's got like some, dried."
He just grabs a branch with it on. He's like, "I got some." Then he tries to use the branch to like lift up the strap of the bag. And he gets the strap up, and then the branch bends down, and the strap drops back on the bag, and everyone's like, but nothing happens.
Yeah.
Eventually, he picks it up, and he kind of slowly, carefully looks inside, and he says, "Well, there's a." He kind of looks at his partner, and he says, "It's enough. It's enough," and slowly puts it over his head, and like tiptoes back to his horse. And they just leave the 2 or 3 sticks of TNT that fell out of the bag right there in the middle of the road. That's going to be a surprise for a wagon wheel. Potholes. Where did those come from? There's someone yelling from the bush that Preacher put a bullet in. Do you want to go over there?
I'm slowly moving my horse over there, keeping my gun down, make sure it's not a trick. I don't know if I hit him or not. I just know he's yelling now, right?
Yeah, yep.
I'm moving over slowly.
I will.
Sound effects.
I'll reload my buffalo rifle and ride along, 20 feet behind Preacher.
Sure. You get up there, Preacher, and you see someone in a cavalry uniform.
You come on out now, soldier.
He's like, "I can't. I got a bullet in my arm. I only have 3 strength left."
Why are you firing on us?
I wasn't firing at you. I'm firing at them shifty fellas. They're itching to blow something up. And then you hear, and there's a bullet hole in his head.
Ooh! I whip around. Who shot?
The other one that wasn't the skinny guy.
I got my gun on
the real
him.
scruffy guy with the scar across his face. And he's
got
like,
my gun on him. What are you doing?
"That man there is a traitor to the nation. He might be in the right uniform, but he is of the wrong mindset. Do you know what I mean?"
So what are you boys planning on blowing up anyway?
"We have orders from the president that we cannot tell you about, for they are top secret. However, it is of the greatest national security and urgency that we get to where we got to go."
You telling me you some kind of lawman?
Nope, I ain't saying nothing of the sort. I'm saying we work for the government.
The president.
No thanks, we got enough. We got all the government we need around here.
So President Arthur personally orders you.
That is exactly what I mean. And he flips his coat around, and inside he's got a badge. But it's not like a sheriff's or anything. It's like a Secret Service badge. He's like, "We have orders from the president to go and make sure that some ne'er-do-wells do not have their way and see the nation torn asunder again."
All right, we gonna leave his body out here?
It's what traitors deserve. His rifle's nice, though. It is a nice rifle. It's a, let's see, he shot a horse at 60. It's an army rifle. He is dressed like a cavalryman, so it makes sense.
Well, Preacher Thomas don't want no much to do with this. We're outside. I'm just gonna turn around and start clopping back towards Paradise City.
Bell's like, bring that rifle over here.
I'll bring you the rifle, Bell. I'm gonna search his body, see if he's got any kind of orders on him or anything.
All right.
that's good.
Yeah, Bell should have picked up a rifle. Didn't think about this because she's still a little kind of getting on her feet, but she probably should have.
I prefer my buffalo rifle, but those army rifles are okay too.
Yep.
Yeah.
I'll throw it in your character sheet here shortly. Boop. So, you search through the body and you find a sheet of a page from a book. It's the Vicar of Bullington. And he's got there's a bunch of letters circled in it, and with like a card with holes in it, and like if you line them up, the ones he circled match the ones he circled match the holes in this card. Oh, and the Secret Service guy is like, do you mind if I have that card? Because that is a valuable intel to our cause to keep the Union together.
I'm assuming I have time to see what letters are circled as I'm writing back and turning it over.
Yeah, you're like looking at the book, and there's a couple pages that you go through that are marked. You can't really make any sense of the letters. Like you put them all together, you mix them up a little. You only have a couple minutes, and you can't really get a sense of what it was saying, if there was a message in there or something. You must be missing some part of the cipher.
I'm sure Dakota doesn't have any experience in cryptography, so. Okay, I'll turn it over to the Secret Service and I'll ask them, y'all any good at breaking codes like this?
They start flipping through it and they hold it up and they're like, well, we're missing a piece. We're missing a missive that would tell us what order to put these letters in. That would sort out the message. But there's only so many combinations of letters that make words, and so we'll just have some people back at the field office work on it until they figure out what it is, and hopefully it'll be in time. And then he just tucks it into. He like makes sure that you see the Secret Service badge when he tucks it into the inside of his coat. And it looks legit. You're right up next to it, Barkrox, and you look at it and you're like, I mean, anyone could make one, but that one's pretty fancy. It's got a big eagle on it.
I wonder what the name for them were then. You know, G-Men.
Well, that's a good question. I don't know. Audience, research. 1870s Secret Service. In 1873, the Secret Service issued its first standard badges to its operatives. So they're Secret Service operatives.
Yeah, but that's not the slang. I mean, what is
slang?
What did we call them?
Government.
Government. G-Men.
There probably ain't much slang for them yet since they're so new.
Pinkerton, but that was specifically a detective agency.
Pinkerton, yeah.
That was like a private company the government used.
That was huge. They were humongous for a while, yeah.
So did we establish that the gunfight at OK Corral was in October 1981?
1981?
Yeah, right before I went to high school.
1881.
Yes, it was October 81. So
we're like...
So you're looking at 81, late 81 right now where you're at. Because you've been hanging out for a while, so it's like mid-October.
So it's been like 2-3 months since James Garfield was assassinated, and the idea that there's radicals striking against the Union makes sense to us.
It's been a tumultuous time. Yeah, so other than that, they're like, well, leave his body, take whatever you want. That's what traitors get. Spit on the ground.
You reckon we should give him a Christian burial, preacher, or should just get the hell out of here?
You know, it's getting dark. It's probably dark now, isn't it?
It's real close to dark.
How about we sling? You know what? Let's sling the body over my horse. He's still a soldier. Deserves burial.
Dressed like a soldier. But all right, preacher, we're not gonna fuss over the Lord's way. They pay you deference in that regard. They're like, you know what's best in the spiritual matters. We're just hard-working individuals trying to keep the country safe.
Well, if he's impersonating a cavalryman, we ought to let the leadership at the base know.
What do you think we was just there talking about?
Maybe, what do you think? Maybe we take the body back to the base? To the fort?
Yeah,
How
maybe
far
tomorrow.
Yeah, not tonight. Maybe there's a reward for him.
Could be there might be a bounty on this one.
Yeah, could be.
The Secret Service guys like look at each other and kind of chuckle, and they're like, "We'll give you each $25."
To bury him?
No, for shooting them.
Oh, all right.
Oh, and then I forgot, they go over and they like remove tons of stuff from their friend and his horse and like put it up onto their own. Not quite stripping him naked, but they also don't seem inclined to pick him up and carry him anywhere. They just kind of look at you, they see you question, and they're like, ain't nobody that we could tell that he was out here doing this and what got him killed. His family's just going to know that he was working for the country and that they're going to get a stipend every month to remain comfortable now that he has passed away. And the skinny one's like rolling him off the road.
Coda, you mind if we put him on your horse? Belle?
Yeah. Oh yeah, because we killed his horse, didn't we?
Well, his horse
Oh.
got killed.
His horse got killed.
Yeah, there's no free horses, right? So we have to put him on a
Yeah,
mower.
no, that's
Right.
fine.
All right.
Yeah, sure. They
Put him
like
on.
the Secret Service guys look at you and they're like, "Why would you do that for someone you do not know?"
We're all God's children.
Very well, preacher. Like they seem uncomfortable anytime you talk about God. They're like, "All right, preacher."
You want to meet him?
I'm sure that
You're creeping up the scale, buddy.
in my line of work, I'm gonna meet him sooner than you expect. And then he like points to the dynamite bag. He's like, as you can see, walking that fine line between here and the hereafter. Oh, that's a nice one. Fine line between here and the hereafter. Whoa! All right. So you load up his body and the body of the assassin, would-be assassin. You get his army rifle, Bell. And you make your way back to Promise City. And true to their word, they give you $25 each for your day, which is a hell of a lot of money to make in a day.
And on top of the 25 for shooting their man? That man?
No, that is the 25 for him,
Yeah,
isn't it?
yeah. They were only
Oh.
going to give you like 10 for the day.
Oh, I see.
Oh,
But
okay.
they said that, well, you proved yourselves worth us hiring you, and so $25 each. It's government money. I'm guessing it would be the same thing. 70, 1D100. Range. I'm not even gonna put a range in there. It's long. It's like 50 squares. Is
you're putting
the
it in
end
my-
of medium on your character sheet? Yeah. All right.
Great, thank you.
You ride back. So you ride back into Promise City, and they, they tie their horses off. They whip out $25 for each of you, and then they walk into the sheriff's office to go talk to Earp. And so
Talk to Earp.
So y'all are making quite a little load of money, and tomorrow morning is that hanging. So like, your stint in Promise City is gonna end tomorrow, because Earp had just asked that you hang out until this trial finishes, and we get to hanging. We get to hanging these fools. So, what do you want to do for tonight until the? He's asked that you like be out in the square for the hanging, even though the trial isn't over. He's like, I know they're gonna hang, so you just be out there, and if something goes down, come see me, and I will get you paid. Is what Earp said.
Yeah, that's what I'd be like. I would ask whether we're going to. What do you wanted to retain our services?
Well, he is paying. Remember, he is paying your room and board.
Oh, that's true. Okay, that's pretty small. Yeah.
So,
all right.
That's a few dollars every here and there.
I'm gonna head to the saloon.
All right. The town is hopping. It's probably 50% larger than it normally is. I mean, Promise City. I showed you guys the map. I can actually show the map to the.
It's big, real big. Did you build the whole thing?
This map I didn't. This came from Boot Hill. This
cool.
This is not the map I made today. This was just like a little side mission thing, make your day interesting.
Okay. All right.
On the fly. All improvised right there.
Cool.
So, but maybe we come back to Boot Hill. We find out what's going on with these Secret Service dudes later. Yeah. So, we'll say the Mariposa is like where the Lone Star Dance Hall and Saloon is, which is Main, and it's right here. I can just ping it. It's right there.
Yep.
Okay.
So that's the Mariposa now. There was a change in ownership recently, and then the square isn't on the map. So the square is actually this tree way over here is like the edge of the square by Eli's boarding house. So they're gonna hang them right kind of where you had the shootout. Because this is the shootout location from last time.
Oh, got it. Yeah.
So the square is kind of just off of there, off the map there. So yeah, it's rowdy. People are gambling. There's a lot of side betting going on. So they have big chalkboards out, and they're putting marks on like what time, how long, how many times they're gonna kick. Before they die. And
did they actually bet on that? Is that are you making that up?
Sounds like something they would bet on.
Yeah.
I would bet on it I'm just thinking like I'm picturing like Deadwood in my head. Like if they were gonna hang somebody, Swearingen would be like, we're taking all bets.
Yeah.
We're gonna make some money off of it. He's going to kick 7 times. 7 times? You think 7 times? Are you sure about that? All right, 7 times. It's your money I had to part with. We'll take that. Yeah, so there's all kinds of crazy gambling going on. Will he fall so far that his head pops off? How thick is the rope? How many, Because back then, before the Wild West, they didn't quite understand how it worked. And so they would just drop them. And then sometimes the rope would just like sever and the head would fall off. Then the body would fall down. But they got it fixed by about this time. It was pretty.
I'd rather have my head come off than kick
hang
around
there for a while. Yeah.
Hanging for a while, yeah.
That's when they would just reach out and go and break your neck.
Yeah.
Gruesome. All right. So the saloons, all the saloons are packed to capacity. They ain't never seen business. Well, they ain't seen business like this in some time. So when you walk in, preacher, not a single soul notices. Piano players playing hard, and the girls are flirting and getting drinks, and the guys are throwing down cards, and everyone seems to be in a pretty jovial mood. Nothing's good for business like a hanging. Do anything special?
Belle's gonna order whiskey.
Oh, all right. Like he brings you a label-less bottle, sets it down. He's like, "That'll be 25 cents."
He
For the
says,
whole bottle?
No, he's gonna pour it in the
Oh.
glass.
Yeah.
He was just he was putting the bottle forward to see if that was the type of whiskey the lady wanted.
and she sees, she goes, yeah, we've worked pretty hard. Bring some good stuff.
You mean a bottle with a label?
Yeah, from one of those brothers.
Kind of
You
looks.
know,
He looks down.
Jim or Jack.
It's like, all right. He goes back, and he comes up with a bottle of Bullet Frontier whiskey. He's like, this stuff here is 50 cents a shot.
Pour one for me and a couple for my friends here if they want one. And
It's like, all right. And he
I'll pass.
just slops it into 3 shot glasses, and he's like, I have to do a little math here. 50.
Buy a round of the Bullet.
$1.50.
Oh, is that the 50-cent stuff we got? Okay.
That's the 50-cent stuff. The Bullet, yeah.
What's the best you got?
He looks at that bottle and he's like, well, I just opened this bottle. It's been sitting here for like 2 years.
How much for the bottle?
$15. It's about
Leave it.
right. It's about right.
try your math again. Try your
Leave it.
It's about right. It's a 750 milliliter. That's about 30 ounces. An ounce
Nope,
a
that's
shot.
about 24 ounces. That's about 24 ounces.
No,
22.5.
it's
22.5 ounces.
Are you? No way.
22.5. If I'm right, you owe me luck.
All right, here we go. Here we go. Ready?
All right, come on,
750 milliliters in
Jack.
ounces.
Milliliters. Who's closer?
25.36.
You said 30 something.
You said you were under.
Yeah, that's because the bottle wasn't full.
Oh, well, he was counting the whole bottle because you hadn't paid for those first shots.
A full 750 would be 25 ounces.
25.36. All right. Yeah, so he just slides over the bottle and takes the $15 and literally just, he looks around and he just stuffs it inside his vest. Like, I'm not putting that in the register. Someone will steal it. He's looking at the money like, this is real government money. Uh-oh, what happened to my... What happened, Snap camera? Oh, there I am. Well, that was weird. We'll go back here. Okay, so, yeah, the town's hopping. You got a bottle of the good stuff. Anything else? There's lots of people you haven't seen before in town right now.
I'm not in the mood of meeting new people. Just make me hate them. I got 2 bodies to bury tomorrow. I'm just gonna drink and enjoy the good stuff. Maybe talk to a lady or 2.
All right.
Anybody paying attention to us?
Roll me a D100.
Who'd want to pay attention to us? Oh, I guess we are the ones that killed these people.
Right.
We are starting to get a reputation, preacher.
That's a good point. I didn't
Pretty
think about
soon
that.
you'll be high-level shadow runners. Oh
I'm
wait,
surprised people aren't buying drinks for us.
A different game, right?
it's a different game. What?
Whoa, good job there.
Wait, did you? That's the one from before, isn't it?
Oh, that's okay.
Yeah, it is. It's Bang R.
Just go up to the upper left, and in that little menu there, you can just mouse over the dice and just click on the button. Boom.
Okay.
There you go. Hey, 69. Yeah, no one's real paying attention to you except for the ladies in their petticoats and their rooms upstairs. Even you, Belle. They're like, whoa, that's a mighty nice bottle of whiskey you got there, miss.
Well, I'm not really that interested in drinking and carousing, so I will open up my seat for one of those ladies, and I'm going to go scout out the gallows.
All right. Dark-haired darkish skinned woman sits down next to you, Belle, and then takes the shot that you had poured that Dakota Jack didn't drink, and like slams it. She's like, "Thank you very much."
And Belle says, "Oh well, you're mighty welcome. I know you girls been working hard. How's your evening going with all of this extra business?"
She has a bit of a British accent. She's like, "Oh, things are going quite well. There's lots of business and such. My name is Maeve."
I was wondering if you were gonna pull a good one. I love you.
For those who don't know, Maeve is her character in a different game based on Westworld.
Yep, Maeve. Based on Maeve from the Proprietor. So, and so the thing is, Belle, like I said, Belle's a bit of a self-made woman herself. In the time when women,
Sure.
expected to be home, birthing babies, and all that stuff. So, but she's got a bit of a name for herself as being respectful and respectable. So,
Yep.
she's gonna talk to Maeve a little bit more and say, so anything of interest that you've noticed, any of the guests coming through? We took care of some business here with your sheriff, Earth, and we'll always be looking for something else. But got a little anything you want to share with woman to woman?
She's happy to talk to you, and then every once in a while she'll do like some hand signals and point to somebody or something, and you'll see one of the girls like scurry over and stuff like that, and she says, "There is a table over in the back by the billiards room with some rough-looking gentlemen. Seems they rode hard to get here, and they're none too friendly to my girls or pert near anybody else. If that's what you mean by people, strange people and whatnot's going on here, Promise City tonight."
Interesting. Are they staying here? Can you kind of do you think they're staying here or one of the other locales?
I feel like they might just be planning on sitting in the bar all night, drinking or whatever until the hanging in the morning, or at noon. The hanging will be at noon. That gives Preacher time to bury those bodies before the before the things go down. Hang them at high noon on Reboot Hill.
Reboot Hill. Well, thanks that. Anything else you anything else you think we might have some interest in? Anything out of the ordinary from your usual nights before a hanging?
Nah, she's like, not really. People get rowdy, trying to celebrate their lives before they witness the end of some other people's lives in the public square, and it's just kind of a normal reaction out on the frontier. So she kind of just shrugs it off, like, it is what it is. It's good for business, and we're okay with that.
Well, if you think anything else that might be of interest to us, feel free to stop by. And Belle's going to go ahead and hand her 50 cents.
Oh. She's like, well, thank you very much. Puts it into like a little side pocket in her dress. Inside pocket in her dress. All right. If there's nothing else, we'll fast forward to the morning. Preacher's
I'll leave you to the bottle and go to bed early so I can get up and bury those bodies.
All right. Preacher's up early. As the game's name says, there is a boot hill nearby, and it's kind of, bring your own shovel, bring your own bodies, BYOB, bury them where you want.
I will be up early and helping the preacher dig.
All right. Yeah,
Belle's gonna be out, but she will have actually not drink much other than the initial in the bar, so she'll be out and have her. Make sure her guns are ready, clean.
I thought you said Belle was already starting drinking.
Halfway through that bottle, she brings the bottle with her.
He never stopped.
She's gonna watch y'all dig.
Oh wait, that's Pirates Night. Never mind.
Digging ain't a lady's work. She's just standing there sitting on a stone watching you dig. Ain't a lady's work. All right. Yeah, so you get the bodies. No one steals the bodies because who wants a dead body aside from like the glue factory and such. So you get them dug and dropped in, or gently reposed, as it were, and buried back up by about 10. The ground is fairly easy to work, and there's a couple other fresh graves nearby. No, there's just like 2 stick wooden crosses on top of stuck in the ground next to them. Four bodies, as a matter of fact.
So some of those the people we killed last session?
You'd believe so. You'd believe that there hasn't been anything else really going on in the town the last couple days that you've been hanging out. So you have to believe that those 4 mounds are people that were shot in that gunfight you had with.
Hey, Paulie.
On the side of Wyatt Earp.
I got something to say over top of these graves. I didn't know these men. I reckon, Father, you knew them better than I did. I suppose they're home now. Let's spit. Off grave, not on the graves.
Probably killed one of them myself. I mean, probably saved one of them myself.
I saved one myself. We got new deliveries.
Yep.
Coming at you, some
Right,
bitch.
so Belle's got something that's kind of bothering her a bit. She wants to talk to the sheriff about.
Okay, well, he's got a busy schedule today, because he's at the courthouse, managing guard duty for the bailiffs and whatnot, so that the court case can be wrapped up. The sentencing is today, and then hanging is scheduled. He's like hanging scheduled at noon, but the sentence didn't come out yet. But he's expecting that they're going to be hung.
Yeah, so Belle's thinking that it'd probably be a good idea to roll by and see if there's any other family members that are showing up for this.
For the sentencing?
For the sentence.
Goddamn son of a bitch.
Goddamn son of a bitch. That
Yeah.
goddamn son of a bitch. Yeah, so the courtroom's pretty busy. Lots of rubberneckers trying to get a better angle and see who it is and see who survived and whatnot. And you find out that it's old Ike Clanton and Frank McLaury. All the others are dead.
Ike and Frank. Okay.
Ike and Frank. So one from each of the two families, because there was Frank and Tom McLaury and Billy and Ike Clanton. And they both look terrible. They're got arms in slings, and they're real pale, because the rules say you heal 1 point of a wound per week. You thought DCC was bad with 1 point per night? 1 point per week. So, yeah, Ike.
So I think at this point, then Belle's gonna kind of, I don't know if Dakota and Preacher are with her, but she's saying, guys, I think I got an uneasy feeling, little woman's intuition. We need to probably really keep our eyes attuned, because I have to wonder whether or not their entire gang was here last week. So I smell a little bit of trouble might be brewing.
Mm-hmm.
Just saying.
The judge, the magistrate hands down the sentencing to be hung at high noon in the town square of Promise City, and the whole room erupts. Some cheer, some cry. The journalists go running out like, "Oh, I gotta get this to my editor. Where's the telegraph office?" Stuff like that.
The Undertaker's measuring their height
Yeah.
and their width.
And then there's Earp, and he's just like sitting in the corner with his rifle, and he's like, "Told you," like he knew. Already measured out the rope.
Get a rope.
Measured twice, cut once. So yeah, so they're gonna hang him high here in 2 hours. Oh, did you just make that? Is that one new? emoji lich?
Yeah, that was actually the Flickering Starlight did that in last Viva La Dungeon.
Nice. It's awesome. I had not seen it. All right.
She said I could make it an icon.
Oh, I love it. It's awesome. Good old Cyclops. All right, so Earp and some other deputies of the law take the two off to the jail so they can have a last meal prior to being hung. And then at noon, it's scheduled to go down in the square. They're scheduled to go down in the square.
Well, up and then down.
All right. Hanged. Hang 'em high.
Oh. Hang on.
Someone's hung. Yeah, someone's hung, but they're going to be hanged. We'll find out if they're hung when they're hanged, Paul. So you get there, you get to the square, and lots of people. There's lots of people there. The square is pretty full. You can elbow your way through if you want to get closer, or you can walk around the fringe. Earp and like two deputies are kind of around the gallows.
Belle's gonna walk around the fringe, back around behind the gallows. So she's got a kind of a clear view of the audience out.
Mm-hmm. Earp sees you and like kind of tips his hat.
Is there any high ground I could get? Is there some get up on the balcony or something?
Yeah, so there's that private residence just to the west. But Eli's boarding house has a second story with a balcony.
I don't know. Dakota, you better up there, up high with that buffalo gun, or should I go up high?
You go up. Why don't you go up high? That buffalo gun's pretty slow.
All right. All right, I'll get up on the saloons up at the.
You walk into Eli's boarding house, and everybody looks and then like dives for under a table. Like,
oh
no,
yeah, because that's where.
Because that's where the gunfight went down. Like,
yeah.
Uh-oh.
No worries. Going to the balcony.
So
I'm hoping I want to get to a good vantage point to be able to see the whole crowd.
The proprietor like gives you a key and says, "I keep it locked, but here you go."
Oh, perfect.
Please don't shoot the place up. I just got the back bar fixed.
So I'm gonna be a guy with a high strength score and a bad reputation, and just actually like walk through the crowd and dare anybody to call me out on it.
I mean, and you're carrying a buffalo rifle, which is not something most people are carrying around. Like, you run into somebody and they're like, "Hey, nice rifle."
And my intention here is I want to see if there's anybody in the crowd who looks armed and looking for trouble.
All right. Let me grab your here. I'm gonna set you up here on this rate. Oh, where'd you go? Right here. Boom. Oh, accidentally grabbed the map and then made a copy of the map. That was not what I wanted. I wanted to grab your characters, your tokens, and then come over to the map where you are, and then drop you all right there. All right. So Dakota Jack is in the square. Belle is kind of off the map a little bit. Here, I'll just do this.
And Belle's filled back up to.
And then Preacher's up there.
Oops.
And Earp is like off the map with you. All right, so you're all kind of relatively positioned. There's lots of people here. Like I said, Earp's got two deputies up on the gallows. They're not even watching the proceeding. They're scanning the crowd. And then Preacher, you're looking over the crowd's heads to the gallows from where you are.
Okay.
Like at an angle, right?
Sure.
because the gallows is basically between where Earp and Bell are. And then Dakota Jack, you're coming in through the crowd, heading towards the front.
Yep.
All right. So first up is Frank. They only got one noose. For story purposes, there's only one noose, and
you gonna keep reusing it? Or...
yeah, sure, why not? What's wrong with that?
All right.
Perfectly good rope, isn't it?
God, can you imagine being in line to
Hank's
using the same?
Well, they just drop you through the trap door, and then they close the trap door, and they bring the next one, and they loop it up around your neck. It's not like you're sharing undergarments or nothing.
Yeah.
All right. Perfect.
Did you see the what is it? The Buster Scraggs,
Yes, the Ballad of Buster Scraggs.
Ballad of Buster, yeah.
So good.
First time, huh?
So good. Yeah.
That was fantastic.
It really was. It was well done. Frank goes, gets hung. It's uneventful. The people cheer. There's people like eating popcorn like it's a movie. This one's got sound and everything.
People got their kids here.
Yeah. Did you hear that neck crack? I ain't never heard one crack that loud. I thought his head was going to clear pop off. And then they bring moving pictures. They got moving pictures? What you talking about, Paulie? I ain't never seen no picture move. And then Ike comes up, and you hear the whole crowd like, boo, boo. People are throwing rotten tomatoes and stuff at them. Earp's deputies are getting real nervous up there. Like, this. And Earp kind of looks over at Bell, and he's like, he's giving you the, like, this is the time to be real. Now, this is what happens to y'all. If you become outlaws, you're going to be up there just like old Ike Clanton, and your neck's going to snap. If they get you young enough, your head might just pop right off. There's fascination with heads popping off for some reason.
Yeah. Horrifying lesson.
And Ike is struggling, and they're dragging him up the stairs. He's like, you're not killing me. No one's ever killing me. I'm Ike Clanton. No one's ever going to kill me. And they get the rope around his neck, and everyone goes silent. Because he's been terrorizing this region for years. These people want to see him dead because they want to be able to sleep at night and know that their family and their friends aren't going to get killed. And they put the noose over. They put a bag over his head, and he's like, "I don't need no stinking bag." And before they can get the noose, he like throws it off, and he's like glaring at the crowd. And they put the noose over, and they're like, "Well, forget it." And I hope his eyes don't pop out. and they're like, "Do you have any last words?" And he looks at the crowd, and he's like, "I'll see you all in hell." And they throw the lever, and he goes. The trap door drops, and he goes down through the trap door, and so does all of the rope. All right. Now he's out of sight at this current moment. People are starting to panic in the crowd. Earp is like, "What the hell happened? What the hell happened?" So he's running. He starts running towards the gallows, and then you hear shots ring out, and you see his deputies fall. And here goes Ike Clanton running down the street, and some guys with horses are coming up behind him with an empty horse. Y'all are gonna have like one shot to do something before these guys get out of view.
And Bell has, can you explain? Bell has first shot determination.
Everybody has first shot determination. That's basically initiative. So,
Okay.
Dakota,
So hold on, just so I know what's going on. So the guy wasn't hung, and there's some guys coming to save him. Is that what's going on?
Yeah.
Okay.
So the trapdoor opened.
I missed the part where the guys are coming to save him. That's all.
The trapdoor opened. He fell through along with all the rope, and then he popped out from below and took out the deputies.
Oh, wow. Okay.
And then that caused the audience to panic. So Dakota Jack is kind of getting jostled around at this very moment, and he ran out into Main Street. I'll ping it on the map right here. Ran out into Main Street, and some guys are coming by with horses.
Gotcha.
To pick him up. So it's,
Bell is ready to shoot him in the back with an army rifle.
Yeah,
Because he's
you're
running
like
away from her.
you're like
Right?
technically in the square, not standing in the road like it looked.
Oh.
So let's see. I have to determine who's going to go first. So Belle, you have a 16 with your SAR. And I think the army rifle is a little slower because that's a single action revolver. Army rifle, very slow.
What's the range? What's the range on the SAR versus the army rifle though?
The single action, like where they are, they're already at medium, which is still well within short. And then Preacher, you've got your Winchester out?
I do.
Okay.
I'm going to be pew-pewing.
Yep. No, I had my guns out.
I have to look at the weapon speed to determine who's going to go first. And then Dakota, you got that Buffalo, so you're going to end up going last, Dakota. The Winchester's going to go first. So it's going to go Preacher, Bell, Dakota.
Got it.
Do I got a clear shot at, well, nobody in the way? I'm not going to risk shooting anybody in the audience.
You have the high ground. So,
okay.
So let me see here. They're going to be medium distance. Oh, I had the distance wrong earlier a little bit. So medium is 0, so there's no, but they're on a horse. So they're moving. So that's 15. 15. All right, so I believe your accuracy is 69 minus 15. You have to get under a 54 to hit one of them.
Okay.
Cheers for the bits, Legio. I'm cheering you back.
Yeah, cheer you back.
Woo.
Cheer me and I'll cheer you back.
You wanna turn those into re-rolls or something? Because it's 20 bits for a re-roll, so
I like hearing that because I'm about to roll.
you are about to roll. We'll see what he says. You can roll. You got to get, like I said, under a 54. Oh, a 96.
Sounds like
Somebody
someone needs a reroll.
somebody opened the door and hit you and startled you, and you shot up into the air, and you kind of look at them as you're like,
He says, dole them out.
dole them out as rerolls. All right.
Reroll.
So y'all got 5 rerolls. Well, now 4, I'm guessing, if Preacher's going to use that one. It looks like it. 4 rerolls. Yeah, you managed to get, like, so that shot goes off, and you're like, you glare at the guy with the door. He's like, sorry. And then you just managed to get the second shot off because you had to get under a 54.
Okay.
And 17, that's good. It's going to be like a grazing wound in the... 17 is in the right leg. Roll me a D100.
$67.
That's pretty good. You in the right leg, but it's a serious wound.
Oh, he's limping.
Well, he's on a horse.
A winged up. Oh.
Were you shooting at Clanton, at Ike?
I was trying to go for the prisoner, yeah.
Okay. Yeah, so you shoot him in the leg just as he's getting, like, that's the leg that's hanging over this side of the horse.
Okay.
The right leg, because they're going...
Should have aimed at the
going
horse, I
through
guess,
town.
but
You kill one of
Much
God's
bigger
innocent
target.
creatures? What kind of preacher are you?
it's a much bigger target.
All right, Belle.
All right.
Horses don't have souls.
Yep. Belle's gonna aim at Ike.
All right.
Clanton.
Yep.
Okay. With that, and so you're saying that I should do it with the army rifle? I can fire that right now.
Yeah, fire the army rifle.
Okay.
He's on the horse 15, 35. Yep, that's going to hit. Ooh, 81. Ouch. All right, roll me a D100. See what kind of wound it is.
All right, I will do that. 79.
Oh, man. You hit him in the back, and you're pretty sure you saw blood come out of his chest as he was like swinging up on the horse, and he maybe starts leaning forward on the horse as they're riding off. Dakota Jack.
I'll shoot at Clanton too. Buffalo rifle shot here.
All right. So... You're kind of being jostled around by the crowd, so you have that 15 on distance. No, yours has a really long distance. You have 0 from distance, or 15 from him moving, and then miscellaneous. You don't really have a lot of these situations. Oh, here we go, 10. Okay. 25 from your standard accuracy. So your standard accuracy with the Buffalo rifle is... Oops, scrolled right past it. 56, 25, 31 or lower.
And I rolled 100.
Oh my god. See, now if this was DCC, I'd be like, your rifle explodes. roll on the fumble table. Yeah, just as you think you've got aim on him and he leans forward, somebody barrels into you, and your shot goes high. Probably gonna kill a bird. It'll be endangered in 100 years.
You concerned fool, watch where you going.
You look and it's like a nun.
Oh, sorry, sister.
Just like panicking, like ah. All right, and then they ride off down the street, just shooting random stuff as they go by. But it sure looks like Ike Clanton is seriously injured.
I'm gonna whistle. My horse is gonna run up underneath the railing. I'm gonna jump off the second story onto my horse.
I love it. Roll me percentage.
Oh, you're gonna let me do it? All right.
Hell yeah. We're in movie Wild West now.
All right. 25. That's good, right?
That
Lower?
Is good. It's way below what I was gonna give you. So yeah,
awesome.
You whistle. The proprietor is like, he's the one that opened the door. He's like locking the balcony. He looks up and you jump over the railing and he's like,
come on, Betty. We got some saving to do.
Preacher goes riding after him on his horse that he magically called with a whistle. I can't do that really loud one. That's as good as it gets.
I can't never do it with my fingers. I mean, I can't do it though.
My young aunt could do it. I could never. That's all I got. But I can regular whistle. All right, Belle, Dakota Jack, what do you want to do? You see Preacher go riding through. People are jumping out of the way because he comes behind that residence and goes up Main Street after them.
I mean, it looks like we're not far from the stables, so I'll run over and grab my horse in a less cinematic fashion.
Yeah, we'll just say for the sake of story, we'll say that your horses were at the bar H, which is that one right there. Yeah, right across the street. So it's and even if they're not your horses, ain't no one gonna stop you right now. You bring them back.
Yeah, horse thieving just don't seem it just sets wrong.
Oh no, that's commandeering. You're officers of the law. You remember Wyatt Earp asked you to do some work for him.
Well, and we're going to see the young boy that we saw last week, who's probably there with them, and we were
Billy.
You know,
oh, Billy.
We're going to see Billy.
Billy sees you coming. He's like, "Please take the horses."
Yep.
All right. So you hop on horses, and you are. I am on the wrong layer. Nope, it is on the wrong layer. Stop moving the map. There we go. All right. And you two hop on horses, and you're right behind, a little ways behind Preacher, and you go riding off after these guys on their horses. and it is an hour and 35 minutes. So let's take a 10-minute break, and when we come back, we'll find out where it is you end up. Yeah?
Yeah.
All right.
Cool.
Audience, go check out some other people. Come back. We'll be back in 10 minutes.
BRB.
map real quick there. All right. Welcome back, everybody. We had a little break, and we are on the trail of Ike Clanton and apparently some of his remaining gang members that weren't caught at the OK Corral. We're totally screwing up history here. Oh my god. I feel like it's like Quantum Leap or something going on.
Well, you are a little dressed like the doctor.
And I have a sonic screwdriver. Ooh. All right. They ride hard out of town and they take a left up into the hills, and you follow on behind them. And they kind of know the way a little better, so they get a bit ahead of you, but you can see their dust cloud. So you follow it until you come to the Calvinian Ranch. The Calvinians are just a local family who raise pigs and do a little bit of farming and such. And this is their ranch here. So what you're looking at is, I'll ping off some stuff. These look like stables up here. Warehouse, grain silo, main house over in the top right, chapel over in the middle right, and then the other building is looks like a bunkhouse. There's a couple outhouses, well, and pigsty, real big pigsty right there.
So is it just us three?
It's just you three.
Herb didn't come with us.
What are we doing?
He must be busy. He must be busy.
Well, Erp said if anything happened, he would pay us for additional work. So it looks like we got we got opportunity here.
I guess so.
Belle's gonna put away her. She's gonna put away the rifle and have her SAR 6 ready to go.
All right.
Yeah.
All right. Single action revolver for those in the audience. 6-shot.
Yep. Lock the revolver.
Mm-hmm.
It's loaded. It's primed. It's ready.
I'll do the thing with my same thing with my fast draw 6-shooter.
All right. Where you're standing is like the gate. You can see it's slightly different color. If you zoom in a little, it's a slightly different color than the rest of the fence. So that's a gate. And then the hog pen is just down there to the south a little bit. It's ripe. Something does not smell right about that pigsty, that hog pen.
All right. Wait, this is the hog pen here in front of the grain?
No, below that.
Yep.
Oh, below that.
Below that, right there. The other one is
Right,
like
so-
a warehouse.
We didn't see where these guys went into. Did they all run in the house or?
You see a horse out in the in one of the yards here, and the other 2 yard gates seem to still be open, so those are attached to the stables right there.
All right, I'm gonna play like I'm gonna go in there and shoot. But if this is real life, I would turn around. Like it was just us 3 and all those. There was how many were in the gang?
2. And
So it's just
2
2 guys
and
and the bad guy
Clanton. Yep.
and the Clayton. Oh, okay, so it's 3 and 3. All right, that's not too bad.
And Clanton is pretty wounded at this point.
You
Right,
got shot.
okay.
You both shot him, Preacher and Bell. You both got hits on him.
Yeah. All right,
That's some interesting hog feed over there.
Oh, hey, somebody saw that. I'm not even gonna make you roll percentage dice. Ike Clanton's body and some other folk are being fed on by the hogs right now.
Jeez.
Ike has a big bullet hole in his chest. That must have come from the back. Well, good shot, Bell. That was a mortal wound.
Got it.
So they just dumped him in the hog pen.
That's
Well,
interesting.
How do we want to play this? Do we want to go in all stealth-like, or we want to just march up through here, get them to come out?
I think stealth is the way to play this.
Yep, they'll agree. I think we should kind of maybe just pop over
And I was
behind
thinking,
the
what
building
if?
here.
Oh, all right. I was thinking about going around this one, maybe. I don't know. Maybe
Oh,
it's
up
too
and
long.
around.
Maybe it's too. Either ways, like whichever way we want to go, we can go around here, right? Around this building.
Yeah, I mean, it's more likely they're going to be possibly in the stables, and the stables are going to have like window air openings, right? It's not completely.
That's a good point. We
closed.
should check the stables. Are there windows, Chris?
There's real small windows. There's open doors if you look, one in each pen. Like they're like sliding doors, and they're all thrown open right now. And then this horse is just kind of running around freely out in the yard. The white one. Them hogs is well fed, Father J. White meat eating white meat. What?
Pork is a sweet meat.
That's interesting that they went through all the trouble to keep him from getting hung, and then they just throw him in with the hogs when he gets here.
Well, you figure he might have been the one that knew where the loot was hidden or something, but now he's dead. Or maybe he told them and then they just finished him off and fed him to the pigs.
Gotcha.
And because at that point he just had become dead weight.
Oh, this should be the Soylent Ranch. It's made of Circle Soylent. It's made of people.
So why don't we start by creeping up on the stable?
All right.
All right.
Hoofing it over here.
Yeah,
Is that you, Bell? Oh, I'm
That's-
sorry, I grabbed you.
Whoa,
it's-
grabbing bell, preacher.
Nope,
Easy now.
sorry. Did not mean to do that.
Oh, jeez.
Let's see here.
Have you seen Belle's cleavage? She is stacked.
That'll make you.
saving.
I'll be praying to someone.
Save
Okay,
it, Jesus.
Hallelujah.
So kind of crouched low and seeing if I can hear anything from inside the stable other than the horse.
Yeah, you're by the fence. Like those are fences outside, like pens for the horses to kind of get a little movement without running off or anything.
Gotcha.
You're looking in through. You looked in through that door, and it's dark in there, and it's pretty sunny out today, so it's real hard to see anything in the shadows in there.
Yeah, but what can I hear?
Yeah.
Anything other than the horse?
Roll me a D100. Boom. That's good. That's real low. You hear muttering like, "Oh shit! Oh shit! What are we gonna do? God damn it! God damn it, Ike! I can't believe you did this to us, you son of a bitch! We're all gonna hang because of you."
Okay, so I'll like go into hand motions and I'll be like,
Just one voice coming from this area, this first
Okay.
open doorway area.
So there is a voice.
God damn. Yeah, you like now that he puts his and emotions, and you all kind of hear someone muttering to themselves. I can't believe you did this to us, you son of a bitch. You told us we were all gonna be rich. We're gonna live high on the hog, and now who's living high on the hog, sucker?
I'm gonna blow on the hog. With the
All
hog.
right. So, are these walls and the pen, or just these are fences?
Those are so these are fences.
Okay.
This is obviously an open gate, and then this is the building, the stable building.
All right. I'm gonna motion that creature is gonna move around. My point is, I want to move around to this location from the back.
Okay.
So they can't see us.
Yeah, so you
That's
go.
what I'm gonna be doing.
They're real high, small windows on the back of the stable.
Okay. So I can crouch down.
I mean, you can kind of just do this, and you're below them.
Well, here's a suggestion that Belle's going to make Preacher and Dakota, and totally, you all say no, that doesn't make sense. But she's thinking, what if one of you guys goes to the back of, if we think he's in his closest pen, goes to the back wall and just starts pounding on it or shoots it or something, that we can flush him out. And then, like, do something to create a large ruckus here so that he'll run out and we can just shoot him when he comes out of here. You know, is he scared enough that we can flush him out, or is he going to hunker down? What do you guys think?
I'm all for it. I think having somebody over here, I could be over here, so they can't run to the house without me shooting at them. Someone over there and someone bang him and get him come out. We have him pretty much surrounded.
What do you think,
That
Dakota?
sounds like a plan.
Let's give it 5 minutes and see if he comes out on his own, and we ambush him. If he doesn't come out in 5 minutes, let's try and draw him out like you said.
All right. Just trying to figure out what that command is. Thought it was give gold. You just hear him. You just hear muttering for a while in there, and then it goes quiet.
Am I over here now, or are we?
Yeah, you can. If Dakota Jack's plan was to wait 5 minutes, you can get all the way around to there if you want. Sure.
Okay.
Like you look over the fence and you see just like a barrel of water, rainwater or something, and then
Okay.
an open door into the stables.
Of course, I'm keeping my eye on the house over here.
Mm-hmm.
Make sure no surprises. And for good measure, because I like the Japanese films, I'm watching the well.
A wet, pale, dark-haired woman climbs out of it.
I knew it. I knew it.
And her name's not Maeve.
Mm-hmm. All right. I'm gonna set up a turn tracker here. Oh wait, look, I already got it kind of set up. You all have Belle and Dakota. You got pistols out, right?
Yes.
That's right.
Yes.
Okay.
Yep.
That's
I've got
gonna-
my single action
I think that bumps.
revolver.
What's that bump Dakota Jack up to? 8? Let me see here real quick.
I think it's more like 18.
Yep, 18 with your revolver. Good call. 18. Preacher, you got the Winchester out there still, so you're at 3. Yep. And then Bell, you got you're at 16. Okay. Descending. There we go. All right. Okay, you wait 5 minutes and the sound seems to settle down from. He found all the commands. It's gonna be chaos in chat. What, new toys? That's how many times they've all died in StarCrawl. Keep track of that because it's gonna be a lot. Okay. It gets real quiet suddenly. And then
Party time when I hear the sagebrush.
there are tumbleweeds on the map. If you look, there's one wedged by this outhouse right here. Because we had a long discussion when I was making the map, and Wojak was like, "No, there's tumbleweeds in Incarnate," and I'm like, "No way." Preacher, give me a D100 roll.
Yes, sir. Ew.
Oh no.
85. Oh no. Is that bad?
Yes.
Ugh.
Comes from the house. You're keeping an eye on the house, and when you turned away, you got shot.
Oh crap.
And you got shot
They flanking me.
in the 25. Shot in the left arm, and it is. Ooh, and that's a. Nope. Oh, hold on. It's a light wound, only 3 strength.
It's his grandma, isn't it? She come out with a shotgun or something.
Yep, it's Grandma Clinton.
Grandma Clinton.
Actually, it's Wild Bill Boulay.
Oh.
You might know him from such hits as the bourbon I'm drinking. Wild Bill Boulay. Wild Bill Boulay shot Preacher.
Ah.
All right.
So can I? Okay.
Yeah. Now it'll be.
I return the favor.
We're gonna go in initiative, and I'm gonna put them at the
Okay.
bottom of initiative now. I'm gonna put them all down there. So I'm just gonna add one here for. Oops, I'm on the wrong layer. Go ahead there, Dakota Jack. Like you heard a gunshot, and you probably heard Preacher cry out a little bit. Lordy, I've been shot.
And let's see. So the only target I see right now is over there on the other side of Dakota Jack.
Yeah, in the doorway of the house, you see it. You see him there with what did he have? With a repeating rifle.
And of course he's out of range of my handgun that I have out. Okay, I'm gonna hop over the fence here. Can I do that?
Yeah, you can hop over the fence. Sure, you hop over the fence and roll me a percentage. Ooh, Lich got an extra luck point.
Thank you, sir.
Like, take that. Which one is yours? This one. Got 47. You see somebody standing right inside, like they just leaned out of that stable that's right next to you.
Okay, so I'm gonna shoot him.
They both can't be Wild Bill Boulay. I gotta look up what happened there.
Twins or doppelgangers?
That's Wild Bill Boulay, and well, that's Wild Bill Boulay. Well, that's just pretty weird. That ain't
No,
right.
I am Spartacus. No, I am Spartacus.
Now, one of them's got to be. I'll figure it out. One of them's got to be Young Buck. Okay. All right. Yeah. So there's a dude standing right there,
And I shot him.
and you shot him. Yep. And you 41 gets him in the. I should memorize this chart by now. Left shoulder. Give me a D100.
$43.
That's gonna do left shoulder. Severe wound. Nice. Well done. Well done. It's a good shot. I'm gonna guess that's this guy here. 7. All right. You hop over. You stop and you shoot him. All right, Bell. You saw. Dakota Jack just shoot somebody in the shed there, in the stables there.
Did I see? Can I see the guy when he leaned out?
Well, he was just leaning forward into the light when
Got
when Dakota Jack shot him. So he kind of ends up not tumbling backwards, but moving backwards.
So I'm gonna go ahead and move over the. I'm gonna hop over as well.
Okay.
To here.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, and I'm gonna fire my my revolver.
All right. Yeah, you jump over. I will. Let me uncover that area so you can see what's going on there.
All right.
Yeah, you jump over and you just turn, and your pistol is almost like right in his belly. Go ahead and fire.
Let's see. Oh,
Oh, that's a hit. 42. That's going to be somehow you hit him in the left shoulder, even like you reared back. You didn't expect him to be right there. You reared back and the gunshot hit him in the left shoulder. Give me a D100. Oh,
Boom.
shit. 83.
That's a fatal wound, isn't it?
It would be. Oh, wait. It is mortal wound. Young Buck Irons died young and a buck, but he didn't die in irons.
Right.
You shot him in the shoulder and caught the artery, and there's just blood squirting out as he goes down.
All right. Yep. Can I search the body now, or do you need to wait till after we've gotten out of melee?
You might want to. Well, you're not in melee. You're in gunfight.
And not melee, yeah, gunfight, yeah.
Yeah, you might want to wait.
Okay.
There's going to be some
So-
lead slinging. Preacher,
Yes, sir.
it's your turn.
Well, I'm gonna shoot the bastard that came out and shot me. This little fella here.
That's Wild Bill Boulay.
Wild Bill Boulay, I'm gonna start heading back towards his well and shooting the whole time. Like that.
Boom. Hit him.
All right, and here we go. Oh, that's grapple. That was a grapple roll. Did not mean to throw that. I guess we could still use it.
You missed.
How many shots do I get?
Every time you shoot, I believe it's -10. Let me make sure of that. I know it's -10 in the first one, and then here not hit determination. Yeah. Weapon
Right, so-
at rest. Second shot -10. Third shot -20. You got
so-
the Winchester, right?
Yep. So I missed both times.
Well, that's just one. The other one was the grapple. Are you gonna?
Well, yeah, but I figured I would just still use that.
No,
It's still
no,
the
no.
same.
It's a totally different mechanic over there.
There we go.
That one would
second
hit.
shot.
That one
Yeah.
would hit.
And on that first
actually-
one, you're with it.
First of them, both of them would hit.
Oh, right. Both hit. Yeah.
2 hits. Pow, pow. So
And
a
then,
9.
can I get a third off before I get to the well?
Can you?
Cause I crit.
Oh my God, you sure can. Pow, pow, pow. 3 shots going into Wild Bill Boulay. I'm gonna drink because I think I'm gonna have to pour it out for him soon.
Tell him Preacher Thomas sent you.
Let's see. A 3 is a left leg, and sorry, a 9 is a left leg, and a 31 is a right shoulder, and that last one is in the chest. You just missed his head, so it's like right here. All right, roll me a D100 for the first one.
Ready?
4, grazing, light wound, 3 points. Okay, next one.
68.
68, better. 31, 68, another light
Oh,
wound.
dead.
That's 6.
Dead. Heart
Okay.
shot.
Oh yes,
Right in the heart.
mortal wound. Where I thought it was here, it was actually down here. God damn it. Wild Bill Boulay, thank you for the whiskey. Bourbon, technically, but whatever.
Now I am over here near the well.
And that's the brutal nature of Boot Hill, right there. Shot you once, and then you put 3 in them, and the last one was in the heart. Bang, bang, bang. All right, well, Wild Bill Boulay is dead, and Young Buck Irons is dead, but some others in. And so, seeing everyone get shot, Horatio Calvin, if that's not a cowboy name, I don't know what it is. He comes out of the bunkhouse. Let's see, I can close down some character sheets because they're dead. Dead. And oh, Young Buck is dead. All right, cool. Where is Horatio? That's Cassidy. There it is. Oop. Sorry, I got a lot of windows open right now because I had so many for them. And, all right. He's got 2 revolvers. Pow, 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 pow. He's going to try to take 4 shots. So the first one is a standard shot. That's a hit. And then the second one is... I want to make sure I do this right, because these shots are deadly. Here, hit determination chart, walking, crawling, running, firing 2 weapons. Firing 2 pistols is minus 30. So he's minus 30 on this second shot. Oh, 41, that would have been a hit. Pow, 2 hits. 30, 40, that would hit. That would miss. My lord, preacher. It's not looking good. All right, let's see.
He's shooting me? Who's shooting me? Wait, what's going on?
Horatio Calvin is shooting you.
This guy over here?
This guy right here. Yep, that one.
And
came out of the bunkhouse and with pistols drawn. Pow, 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 pow. With some really good rolls. 18, though. That first one is in the right leg.
Elizabeth!
Oh!
Elizabeth!
Luckily, there's no mortal wound in that area, so it's only minus 7.
Okay.
That's half your health. The next one was a hit, and that's 50 in the left shoulder. Left shoulder,
like
80. That's enough to put you down, because that's another 7 points. Oops, it's minus 1. Oh, it doesn't like minuses. And then the third one that hit was 27 in the arm. For another 3. So you're technically minus 4 right now. So you fell down, you got shot hard. Bang, bang, bang. We're going to put those icons on you right now. I don't want to put a big red X on you. That's mean. And then from out of the other stable comes Cassidy Blanks. Not such an intimidating name, but steps up on the fence. What's Cassidy packing? What's Cassidy packing? Just 1 revolver. Let's see. I'm gonna say even Bell, odd Dakota Jack. It's on Bell. Totally misses. Poof. Shoots the horse accidentally.
Oh no.
Bam, bam, bam. You gave me 80 gold? What are you giving me 80 gold for, Father Jay? All right, Dakota Jack.
Okay, so I'm going to... These are barrels right here, right?
Where's that? I was looking. Over here?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's a water barrel.
Okay, so I'm going to move up behind this water barrel. Try and use it as cover. And
Sure.
I'm going to fire 3 shots at him.
Okay.
Okay, so...
It's miss on the first one. Well, that can't be right.
No, I mean the first one's a hit because that's.
That first one, yeah. The first one's a hit. But you rolled like 80 twice. Okay, hit 19 is the right leg. Roll a D100. It's going to be a light wound, -3. All right.
Okay, and I'm gonna.
Pow. Yep.
I'm gonna use a reroll on that second shot.
All right. Oh yeah, we have some rerolls left.
Yeah, 4. That makes 3.
Now we're at 3. Go ahead and re-roll that second one. That would be 46. That's a hit then. 57. excuse me, 57 is in the abdomen. And then roll me a D100. 24, that's going to be another light wound. Pow! Missed all the vital organs. All right.
That's going to be it for me.
Okay, Bell.
All right. Was he firing at this guy right here?
At Cassidy Blanks, yeah, this one right here.
Yeah, so 5. Okay. All right. So Belle's gonna step up and fire off her revolver.
Okay.
Okay. And she's gonna do because I can do 3 shots as well, correct?
Yes.
Okay.
You're like, because you have a single action.
Yeah.
You gotta like kind of fan the hammer, sort of.
Got it. All right. So I'm gonna go 1.
Miss.
I'm going to use a reroll for that one.
All right. Down to 2.
Yeah.
Miss. Can't reroll.
Can't reroll. Okay. And I'm gonna take my second and third shot.
Okay. You'll
so
be at 60 for the second.
So I can. It's that 60% skill instead of 70.
Just do it. Just click the button, and then I'll do the math.
Okay.
But yeah, that's a hit in 14,
right.
And then you want to fire the third one right away.
Yeah, I'll do the third one right away.
That'll be at 50, so that one will miss. But
Burn a point of luck, Snacks, and that one will hit.
Yeah, I'm gonna do that. I'm gonna burn a point of luck.
Yeah, all right. I will take your bullet. 2 hits, one at 14, one at 11. That's going to be both in the same place. 2 shots in the right leg. Roll me a D100 twice.
So 2 D100s?
Or 2 D100s. 31 and 54. 31 is 3 and 54 is 7. That's 10. That is exactly the number of hit points poor old Cassidy Blanks had left.
Yay!
Ooh.
Pow, pow! He was climbing up the fence, and you shot him in the left leg, and he fell down and hurt himself and bled out, or was going to bleed out there in the stable. Preacher!
Yeah.
The Lord is with you. Roll me a D100. You see the light. Preacher, you should use that reroll.
Okay.
1 reroll left.
Got it.
Don't be the same thing.
46.
Hallelujah!
Still alive?
You're still alive. You're like,
All right.
pat, pat, pat. And you kind of fell behind the well. So, to him, he thinks he got you.
Okay.
To God thinks he got you. God's like, ooh. but you're
both
hanging
wrong.
in there by a thread.
Well, I got a 15 shooter, so I'm popping back up and or looking
Well,
around.
you might just roll over because
Sure.
You're seeing
Sure.
you're seeing bright lights that aren't there. I won't make it affect the shot. So go ahead.
It's okay.
Hop
We'll
him
see
up.
how well I roll.
Oh, that's gonna hit regardless.
That's some
Oh.
young gun stuff right there.
Yeah,
right
it
in the
is.
forehead.
Abdomen groin. Oh, 67 abdomen groin for that one. Yep.
I'll roll with the other.
Father J's already got an F ready in chat.
95.
Ooh. Oh.
95.
Ooh. Did
That's
you
right.
blow
Let's
his
see.
head off?
67 abdomen groin, 95 mortal
How am I
wound.
supposed to spend this luck? Because I want to kill him. How do I spend the luck?
You don't
Hey, guys.
have to. The 95
I
was
was
the
practicing.
95 was the severity of the wound, and that's a mortal wound. So like
Okay.
you're falling backwards from his 3 shots, and you're like, time to say your prayers. Bang!
I'm bringing another one, Lord.
Smack in the face.
Let's say right in the middle, right between the eyes.
Yep. Yeah, it's just a very clean hole, and everyone's like, those rifles generally don't do that. But then the black's like, and then you pass out.
Yeah. Under the hot sun.
Lord, I'm coming. Lord, this is the big one. I'm coming.
Elizabeth, I'm coming.
That's it. That's all the bad guys I had.
It gets quiet.
Yeah, it's real quiet in the. Oops! Oh man, I really zoomed in. It's real quiet in the Calvinian ranch. I want to show you this cool map that I made. This is the one I made earlier today.
Is that a
It's a chapel with a stained glass reflection down.
Oh,
on
is
the
that
floor.
what it is? Oh, okay.
But I was placing the bad guys, and I'm like, they wouldn't step into a chapel and shoot out of it, would they?
I was going there next.
Well, your friends take you there because knowing that you're a preacher, and they think you're about to die, and they figured the place you'd want to die is the house of the Lord, next to a battlefield where you just saved some souls. Give me a D100 roll. There's one reroll left in the pot, and you have one. You have one.
How about 11?
Oh, you don't need none of that.
All right.
Hallelujah, hallelujah.
You've seen The Revenant? It's going to take a lot more than that to kill me.
He kind of sits up slowly, and he's like, "There's blood everywhere," and you two are shocked, absolutely shocked, because when you picked him up and carried him in there, you swear to his God that he was dead. Hit my cigarette case. Glad I had that made out of titanium.
Yeah.
I'm starting to believe what you're selling, preacher.
Can your God save me when I get shot 3 times? 'Cause I'll take him.
I don't mean to hurry us, but think we could make it back to Paradise City.
Promise City. Take me back
Back to Paradise City,
We probably don't.
where the drinks are cheap and the girls aren't. Okay.
They'll do in a pinch on the western frontier.
I think in the shape you're in, we definitely want to take our time getting back to town.
Yeah, I don't even know if there's a doctor in town. I'm assuming there is.
Yeah, all 3 of them hit the cigarette case. Pap, pap, pap. And the blood is from it pushing into his chest.
Yeah, all 3 of them. Yeah.
So we pretty much eliminated everybody at this point.
Yep, you done killed all the rest of Ike Clanton's
If I stay
gang.
alive, we're gonna be rich. I'm
Yeah.
gonna be rich if I'm staying alive.
Yeah.
Clanton's
So I
land.
think
Yep.
I think that we should kind of go ahead and. I'm not above seeing if there's anything here to be retrieved or taken as bounty, but also making sure. Let's get preacher's wounds wrapped really good and cleaned and stabilized before we head back.
So if you were to be like Bart Grox and zoom in on the hog pen there, you'd see that there's 2 dead bodies. I'm showing everyone in the stream right now. There's 2 dead bodies that were already there getting eaten by the hogs. Those are the Calvinians, Mr. and Mrs.
Got it.
They've been dead for about a week, but the pigs don't care. And then right next to them was Ike Clanton.
Okay.
And so all of them, all 3 of them are now hog feed. But yeah, there's probably some stuff here worth getting, as it were. You just have to tell me what it is you want to do here. See if you get it.
What's the concern of the preacher bleeding out? Do we have time to loot the corpses, or do we need to just get him back to town? Does he need a tourniquet?
You
Might be
could
something in the house.
You could tourniquet him. There's,
Yeah,
I mean, there's 4 dead bodies that had, belts and such to keep them from bleeding out too hard.
I want to go into this house up here where the one guy came out of, the one that shot the preacher, because we're going to have to go into the house anyway to get some clean bandages and stuff as it is. So, whilst going in to look for that, let's go ahead and this house. This is obviously where they were set up.
Yeah, that's the main house of the ranch where the Calvinians lived.
Yep.
Father G
I think-
says
I think
one
it's
tourniquet around the neck because it's
Yep.
a 2-shot.
Yeah.
Yeah. So we'll say, Belle's like, okay, I'm not, I'll go in and see what we can find for some wrappings and stuff. But also, she's a woman who knows what a woman's house should look like, because it's had been, a couple that lived there.
Yep.
And walk in and see anything out of sorts that would just not seem to be, that would be seem off from the residents themselves as she's going in to find some bed linens. Because the thing is, she's going to have reason to look into the chest to see if, pull some sheets out.
Sure.
Right.
You go into the bedroom, you walk in and there's a mud room with a trapdoor. And then you walk down that hallway. On the right is the kitchen. I just got tired of putting stuff in the house. I figured I'd put a couple things and you figured it out. Left is the bedroom. And as you turn left into the bedroom, you look and you see what's pretty well-appointed parlor for a frontier ranch with a piano and a big, soft, cushy couch. Like a
I'm going to look inside that. I'm going to open up and look inside that piano.
You open up and you look inside the piano and there's strings. Piano strings and hammers. It's finely tuned as well.
But nothing else beyond that?
Mm-mm.
All right, check the couch.
It's a very comfortable couch. You just got all muddy and bloody.
What's in the bedroom?
That's where the business gets done. There's a dresser, like a big
Business
wardrobe
is sleeping.
All right.
No, they only have one bed.
right.
You open it up and it's clothes, hardy clothes, a couple, like 2 or 3 nice dresses, a little on the pricey side, for what you would figure to be ranchers. Like they must have either come from money or made a little money or something, you're not sure.
Let's go check the trap door.
That's their root cellar where they keep all their preserves and their pickles and their jerky and such. And that's what you find down there. Some ham hocks hanging out, some salamis aging.
I'm going to eat a pickle and offer the preacher one.
I'll take it.
Pickles help heal the wounds.
I just kind of shock on it.
You found the magic in my world.
Wait a minute. All right. I'm wondering about this now. And then over here is the bunkhouse.
That's the bunkhouse. Lots of smelly bunks. Ain't been changed or washed or nothing for some time. There ain't no bunk hands. They probably chased them all off or whatever.
Yeah. Or these guys actually could have gotten their way into this homestead by pretending to be bunk hands coming in, and once they got in, they killed the couple,
Nah, they just rolled up and said, hey, we just need some water for our horses, and the Calvinians and the farmhands were like, okay, come on in. And they went whoosh.
Can we use your telegraph?
Yeah. Can I get a cup of sugar?
Where are they hiding the loot?
What loot?
We're looting them now?
No,
the gang.
punks.
Looting
The
the
gang.
gang.
Gotcha.
Gang.
Okay.
The gang.
Okay. I'm too out of it.
Yeah.
Preacher. Yeah.
Preacher's talking to his Lord and Savior.
All right.
Here, I'm gonna put Preacher right in that really cool stained glass. Right, Preacher. You're laying. You think you're seeing colored lights, and you are, but it's actually the stained glass.
All right. Under we see. Yep. So I didn't find anything in the house or the bunkhouse.
Nope.
This is a grain cellar.
It's a grain silo.
Grain silo, and next to that is the.
It's like a warehouse. They keep a bunch of pigs and wool, like pig meat that they smoked, and wool. Half of it's a smokehouse in the back. There's things like that. Nothing out of the ordinary.
Check the stables.
They stink. They haven't been mucked out for quite some time. There's a foal in the middle one where that white horse is running around, and then there's just some regular old horses, riding horses in the end ones.
Check the well. Pull the bucket up out of the well.
When you pull the bucket out of the well, it's full of water.
You bastard.
Give me.
And by water, I mean whiskey.
Yeah, right.
It's a whiskey well.
It's a whiskey well.
Wild Bill
the magic
Boulay.
whiskey well.
Wild Bill Boulay.
Whiskey's for drinking, water's for fighting. What?
Roll me a percentage die.
Okay, D100.
Mm-hmm.
74.
I have a reroll. Well, technically, you have a reroll.
Yep, I will use the reroll. Ah, man, 69.
You already burned your point. Lich is sitting on some points. I will just do this. Bloop, bloop, and bloop. You're almost certain that there's nothing out of the ordinary about this, and then you get mad, Belle, and you grab the bucket and you throw it. And when you throw it, you see like a thin string trailing behind it and going down into the well.
Oh, got it. So I start pulling up on that string.
Yep, it's real hard at first, and you think if you pull too hard real fast, it might snap. But you manage to figure it out and not snap it. And there's a waterlogged canvas bag at the end of this very strong string. It didn't make sense when I got to the end of it.
All right, Slante.
Looking.
Let's open up that bag and see what's in it.
You all done playing Dungeons and Dragons and get me back to city?
I don't know. A dragon.
I have been sitting by the preacher, making sure he's not losing too much blood, while Belle is looking for loot.
Well,
Yeah.
the thing is that we know that we know that there is something bigger going on here, and better to find it now than to get back and have the sheriff go, oh, what about this or that, or what. So
Mm-hmm.
all right.
In the bag, you open it up, and there's some kind of metal contraption. You start like laying out the pieces, and as best as you can ascertain, it seems like they all go together, and then there's some type of powder charge at the bottom, and you think it might shoot something off into the air and go somewhere, and maybe blow up wherever it gets. But it seems to be missing some pieces.
Interesting.
Like a payload. It seems to be missing a payload.
Got it. All right.
So
Well,
it's
we'll
like
take this.
it's basically a 3-piece rocket. It's about 5 feet tall. You light the fuse.
Well, all you had to say was, munitions, explosion,
Yeah.
up in the air, and she's like, I'm gonna take this along.
You
So,
two go back to town. I got this.
Let's go back. Yeah. So,
All right. So you pack everything up. You stabilize Preacher. You get on your horses. You make a slow trot back to
Yep.
Promise City.
We'll take the other horses with us because I feel like they're abandoned property at this point, and I wouldn't want them to
Yeah,
starve
worth a lot of
out
money.
here.
Yeah. There's
Agreed.
nobody alive here. So you get
Yeah.
back to Promise City and you report to Sheriff Earp, like what you saw at the Calvinian ranch, and that the Calvinians are dead, and someone might want to go out there and keep the hogs from eating all of them and give them a Christian burial and whatnot. Preacher can't do it because he's really banged up. Preacher, you're going to be bedladen for like 13 weeks, give or take. That's a long time to just be convalescing. And when you get to town, those two shifty dudes, them shifty fellas that you escorted.
But I'm just gonna be biding my time reading the good book, and by good book I mean the Winchester catalog for 1881.
Woo-wee, how many guns can I have? It's like Red Dead Redemption 2 now, where you're like flipping through customizations, like, oh, I can get all gold filigree? The Lord would want me to have this.
Oh yes.
The two shifty fellas show up and they say, they look at you, they look at Preacher and they're like, we're glad you made it there, Preacher. You sure do seem to have the luck of God on your side.
I cough up a little blood.
Or a lot. Like, ooh, it's just like a partially congealed thing. You're like, yes, I do. All right, and they're like, you didn't happen to find anything weird out there, did you? The U.S. government would really like to get its hands on some missing pieces of experimental weaponry. All right, we were pretty sure Ike Clanton had it. That's what our intelligence said. About yay big.
Ike Clanton? No, when we arrived, he was in the hog pen.
What'd you think we did? Do you think we looted the property before we left? I'm dying. This isn't Dungeons and Dragons.
Y'all were gone for 7 hours.
No, just kind of do it.
We had to take the long way back.
All right.
Well, there was those 5 minutes. I mean, those 3 hours we were standing outside the stables there, waiting for that one guy to come out.
Yes, they basically say, well, if you found anything of interest to the U.S. government, we would be more than happy to pay you for anything that you found, and if not, then we will continue our duties to protect and serve the Union as it is. Have a good day.
These are the shippy guys who had the like Secret Service badges.
Mm-hmm. Yep, it's them.
I was gonna say, what was it you were speaking of?
Some type of flying weaponry that could strike from a great distance and explode. That we feel falling into hands of into the enemy of the Union's hands would be highly detrimental to the continued existence of our great nation.
The bell goes. Well, you guys lost this once before. So if I'm going to hand it over to you, you better not let it fall in the wrong hands again. And she takes the canvas bag and hands it to them.
They kind of look at each other, and they look at it. They just hand you a bag. And then they take that bag, and they say, the United States government thanks you, ma'am, gentlemen, preacher. Well, they call you by your rank, Dakota. What was your rank?
Let's say private first class.
Sure, like they know, they're like, private, ma'am, preacher. And they just walk off with this huge bag, this like massive canvas duffel bag kind of thing that takes both of them to kind of carry it. And they just walk off.
Into the sunset.
That's
what I was gonna do.
So what's in my bag?
Don't go near the light. You open it up, and there's got to be something like, I'm gonna say, I don't know, $500.
All right.
We'll make it even. $450, $150 each. Just turn that bag over.
And I appreciate that so much. I'll buy Bell the best bottle of whiskey in town, and grab some laudanum for the preacher.
Hey, laudanum.
Yep, and
sweet laudanum.
Getting real close to your god now.
Maeve is, I'm sorry, Belle's going to take $10 and give it to Maeve and say, here, take care of the preacher.
He's gonna be laying in bed for a long time.
Take care of him. Anything you do to help him heal faster. Of course, don't. That obviously means don't wear him out with one of your girls. Just make sure they take good care of him to save this side of God.
Hallelujah! Everyone is saved. Y'all are rich, and so ends the saga of the saga. The huge saga, the saga.
The saga.
The saga.
The 2-episode saga.
The 2 episodes. The very
saga.
epic Too
I kind of envision, girls trotting into the preacher's room and him just trying to convert them from the bed.
Before we do anything, preacher's like, before we do anything, we have to pray. And she's like, I don't get paid enough for this. That's like the outtakes as the credits are rolling.
I really dug the Wild West stuff. It seemed like that old series, Wild Wild West, with the Secret Service agents.
I loved that series. That was like one of three things my dad and I watched when I was a kid: The Untouchables, The Wild Wild West, and The Outer Limits. Man, did I have nightmares! Holy crap! The Outer Limits freaked me out.
What was the one with what's his name who played Ducky on? There was one that Ducky from.
Pretty in Pink?
No. Ducky from NCIS was in one. It was probably Outer Limits one or Night Gallery. Night Gallery.
Night Gallery. I had nightmare. I used to watch that with my dad too.
I used to have nightmares about that one.
Mm-hmm.
But Ducky, who's Ducky from NCIS?
The actor who played Ducky in NCIS was really a well-known actor in the 60s and 70s, and so I remember the one episode. It was
David McCullum is his name. Oh, you would totally know him if you saw him.
Yeah. David McCullum. So he was in. Let's see. I mean, when he was young, is he still alive? He's a Scottish actor. 1933. He's still
probably still alive. 80 something, mid 80s, could be.
1933. That's when King Kong was. He's as old as King Kong. Oh, David McCallum, 47.
Oh, shit, no, he'd be 90 something.
1947 to present, it says.
Oh, okay.
Here.
So he was in the Night Gallery, I want to say in...
71.
71.
He was Ilya Kuryakin from The Man from Uncle.
Man from Uncle. I
Yeah.
had
Oh,
no
yeah, he was
idea.
Man
Versus
Uncle.
Robert Vaughn. What a great cast that was.
Just remember, there was one very specific segment he was in: The Phantom Farmhouse, Silent Snow, Secret Snow.
Whoa.
1971. Man, that was just like dude, was I 7 crushing on this guy then? That's crazy.
1971, Dr. Joel Winter, The Phantom Farmhouse, Season 2, Episode 16 of Night Gallery. Look at that.
Yeah, but no, The Man from Uncle, and he was Marcus Welby, which is another thing about things.
He was literally in everything.
The Invisible Man.
$6 Million Man, Invisible Man, Return of the Man from Uncle, Heart to Heart,
Sapphire
The A-Team, Matlock.
He played Steel and Sapphire and Steel.
Why do I still remember the opening to Heart so vividly? I don't know. I do not understand why. The long road shot. Wasn't there like?
There's like the classic like 70s and 80s like
with the heart.
The heart.
Right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's funny though you talk about westerns. I thought that was great. Bart shared that list of these classic or must-see western films, and it makes me think about when I was growing up. One of the things we watched a lot. I mean, I do remember being really young, and my parents loving to watch Gunsmoke. But Bonanza was definitely and man, as you mentioned earlier, the Wild West.
Wild West. Yep, that was
interesting because Wild West has very kind of a little more, almost like it was around the time when The Prisoner and whatever else came out, so it's kind of a bit more that 60s kind of style. So, but
Robert Conrad, good old Robert Conrad.
Wild Wild West had that weird West feel to it.
It did. It was always like right on the edge. And then the '99 movie with Will Smith like stepped over the line and got pretty weird. But not like magic weird, but like techno weird.
Yeah, steampunk weird.
Yeah. But the best thing about the show, the original show, is like the pool table in their train car that flipped over, and then it had like a big map of the U.S. and stuff at the time. It was great.
Well, they have like all those.
That's where I'd keep my map.
Hell yeah!
Crazy,
Their pool table in their train car HQ.
But when you look at the description of it, they even talk about Wild West being a combination of sci-fi and Wild West.
Yeah.
There was some supernatural elements to it. And I say supernatural in the aspect of being the the Wild West. I mean,
Right.
not the Wild West.
Half
but
they
being
say
the-
half science fiction and half Western. Artemis designs a series of interesting gadgets for James that would make Inspector Gadget proud. That's a good write-up. I like it.
thank you.
I approve.
Artemis was Q. He was like the Western Q, right?
Robert
exactly.
Conrad. Oh yeah, yeah. He was yeah. Those was good stuff. I know we got a little weird here at the end. I can't just run a regular game. There's got to be some weird funky plot twist. But this was simply something taking place in time. I'm not saying it was a rocket. Because that takes some
I'm not saying it was a rocket, but it was a rocket.
It could have been a rocket. It could have been a
It was
rudimentary
probably a rocket.
By a long way away, they mean like a half mile.
Right.
down the slope. They don't know. They're Secret Service guys.
Yeah, my favorite. I didn't grow up watching cowboy stuff on TV, but I watched a lot of cowboy movies. I loved the Trinity series. Trinity
one?
with the left-handed God and the right-handed God.
Oh.
Left-handed God. Trinity was the left-handed God. He was like super fast, and his brother was the right-handed God. And God was it was the devil. It was the left-handed devil and the right-handed devil.
Trinity.
And their father.
It was a series.
No, it was. I think so. I think there was 3 of them. It was like Trinity Rides Again, Trinity.
I don't remember. I don't
Something
know
more
that I ever
recent,
watched that one.
I think I've seen that one either. They call me Trinity.
Yes.
Oh, it
Trinity's
was a
still my
spaghetti
name.
western from Italy. Yeah, it's Lo chiamavano Trinità in Italian. That's awesome. They call
the
me
guy-
Trinity, Two Sons of Trinity.
The lead character was he was great. He was really great. He had that great Han Solo, more impish Clint Eastwood vibe.
The poster is him, like with his hat over his face, having a horse like drag him behind on what do you call it? You carry like bodies on.
It opens with him in the beginning of the movie, him getting dragged.
Yeah.
The horse dragging him.
It says the plot: Trinity, a lazy ne'er-do-well gunfighter, Han Solo, with unnaturally fast drawing ability and marksmanship. Han Solo is dragged on a travois by his horse. That is to a way station and restaurant. Yeah, okay. I'll have to look into this.
Yeah, they're pretty. I remember them being pretty. I think I saw them a few years back, and they hold up for being what they are.
First one is 1970, and then Two Sons of Trinity, and the Carambola series, which features some people that look like the original guys.
Really?
Interesting. All right.
Oh.
Well,
Good game, everybody.
I think that wraps up our time travel trip to the Wild West of the where were we? The 1880s, the 1980s. Shoulder pads and 6-shooters. Oh man, that would be a great game. Shoulder pads and 6-shooters. What a great game title. Dibs. Hey, Leggio. Thanks for hanging out or showing up again or whatever. Go around and talk about anything you want to talk about. We'll start with the Lich because he put his glass down.
Oh. Tomorrow, the season or chapter premiere of Apocalypse Roadshow. We're really excited. Got some new tricks up our sleeves. Something's gone wrong with Pineapple. If anybody knew what happened in the last episode, they know that it kind of messed people up.
Oh yes.
And we're looking forward to getting back into the new chapter, starting tomorrow, 10 o'clock Eastern. Come drop some drama or dungeon or drama or battle bombs.
Oh, speaking
Thought I
of
made
which,
a command for you.
where is Chill Out Corner still around?
I suspect he fell asleep because it's
Yeah,
like,
he said he'd be up till 3 a.m. So, but yeah, but
it's almost midnight here, so it's almost 6 a.m. there.
He's long asleep. So
All right, so Apocalypse is over on the Liching Hour, and snacks.
So every other Saturday, I'm doing Roll of Karen with the Homebrew RPG team. Not tomorrow, but a week from Saturday. Lots of fun. It's a homebrew D&D campaign, so I'm really enjoying it. We actually just added another member of the party. It's pretty massive. And then every other Sunday, I'm doing Zweihander Good and Perilous RPG over on TT2KB.
Mm-hmm.
And this is going to be a long Sunday because at 5 p.m. Central Time, we'll be wrapping up something about Marie. And immediately after that, we'll be doing character creation for Vigilantes of Elandria. So maybe 8 p.m. could be later. And then I'll have something else going on Sundays. They'll probably be next month. Wednesdays, we have stuff going on, which I'll leave for Christopher to talk about.
All right.
I'm here on all the RPGs every Wednesday. And my own content, I hope to be able to announce within the next week, kind of finalizing some details, setting the schedule on that. Related to film and booze, what it's like being a green gamer, being new to the whole RPG online stuff.
Oh, interesting.
Yeah. And then
we were just saying yesterday when Ansel was like TTRPG 7, and I was like, holy crap, 7 already? Because 3, I think it was 3 where you and I first met, which is now 5 months ago because I took a month off.
Yeah, and just real briefly about that, the intent is to help to reduce the barrier of entry into it, and it's kind of a bit of a pay it back or pay it forward in that where I've gotten to in my online and RPG has a lot to do with Christopher and Glitch and everything there and how to help. So like even today, my mom was asking me on Facebook, she was like, a friend of mine wants to do some of this online gaming. Where do they get started? How they get started? And so, and being able to just do that, it's different between just telling one person, but being able to have something about kind of a, welcome to the community, here's how you do it. I'm looking forward to doing that. So.
Right. Bart Crocs, anything you want to talk about?
I got nothing to plug, but I had a lot of fun playing this, and I'll be around.
Awesome, yeah. I had a lot of fun running this. I thought it was going to be really crunchy reading through the book, but then...
Yeah, it didn't turn out to be that bad, really.
It's just a matter of I have to look something up when you hit. And it's like... That's why... So I tried to make it so that when you click the attack button, we determine whether or not you hit, and then it does the first location roll. And then there's just one... I couldn't get it to do... And I wanted them to be separate, because then it's a little more like, oh, in the abdomen, roll the die, and then you get to roll how vital or how hard that it was. Yeah, I thought it would be really super crunchy, and it's not. It turned out to be really smooth, and the combat was really fast, because that last combat, I was like, oh, I think this is taking an hour, and you guys were like, pow, 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 shoot people in the heads and stuff.
Yeah.
It's definitely unforgiving. Technically, the Lich died. That last shot was like mortal
he's a
wound.
preacher, so he has, there is divine intervention there.
Yeah,
right.
That's why I was like, I played it, like I wanted it to have fun and cool and everything, and I thought this was really awesome. So
Wednesday.
Let's see. Well, with snacks, I will be on TT2KB starting tomorrow night. Not in the early session. I'm in Vigilantes of Elandria. And then Monday I'll be here for DM prep again around 4 p.m. Central, if all goes well. Tuesday I usually don't stream because I go to the Liching Hour and watch Viva La Dungeon, and it's fucking awesome.
Or play.
Well, sometimes I play. That's true. I need to win. I haven't won for a long time. And then Wednesdays we're here, either star crawling or pirating. This coming Wednesday will be star crawl. We'll be on the Generation Ship, where crazy things are happening. Oddly, they're kind of in a Wild West situation right now as well. And then the other Wednesdays is Mischief Gold and Piracy in DCC. So nautical pirate campaign in DCC. And then next week Thursday is really cool. I get to play in X-Crawl Live on Goodman Games Official.
Yeah, and you didn't watch last episode. You haven't seen anything, have you?
The only thing I saw accidentally Yeah, it was a thumbnail because we were looking through the thumbnails. I was like,
Yeah,
oh,
but
I
it's
was
not
like,
gonna. Well, it's gonna tell you kind of like, yeah.
No, I'm real good at like not spoilering myself, because I'm a player. I've been a player a long time, and usually I know all the secrets. So it's really cool when I don't know all the secrets, and I'm like, oh my god, what's gonna happen? So I'm really looking forward to that.
I hope you guys get as farther than the last guys, just so you can see more of the cool prep I did.
That's
I prepped 3 encounters. They only made it past. They didn't make it past the first one. Well,
DM existence,
Yeah.
the game master existence. Like, I have all this prep. That's why sometimes, especially like today, I'm like, I have the story outlined in my head, but how much prep can I really do? So I made the map, and desperation was just on the fly, which I thought was really interesting. And then it ended up being a whole big thing. So who knows? If we return to Boot Hill, maybe some Secret Service agents will be involved.
oh yeah, right on.
Well, and I just want to comment on that too, though, because I think that, you know, when you start to do the world building, then that doesn't happen, and you'll build around it. Because I think about the fact that, it's like I said to you the other day, I'll go back to Village of Death. I'll go back to Village of Death because it's someplace that you kind of created this environment, and you could actually make it so there's a visit that predates, you know, the
Sure.
right?
And even in the adventure itself, the published adventure, it says like, put these creatures where they'll have most effect on your on your PC party. So there's always a little bit of replayability, because you show up and you kind of know where the buildings are, but you don't necessarily know how it's gonna play out or things like that. So, but this game, as we talked about in the first session, it has like 0 role-playing built into it. It's basically all just rules for gunfighting. But I thought it would be really cool to flesh out the characters and have some role-playing and stuff. And I think that turned out really well.
That sounds cool.
So
do you have anything coming up that you're going to be judging at any conventions? Any things?
I did just put an application in. I'm gonna run an extra deadly edition of Ziggurat of the Mega Maiden, which is our most popular adventure on Drive-Thru RPG. It's basically 2 minutes to midnight, and you have to fight your way up this ziggurat and save the world. Heavy metal fueled combat. I called it they were like, "What are you gonna run?" And I'm like, "Heavy metal fueled combat fest speed run." That's basically what Ziggurat is now. So that'll be if it goes off, that'll be GaryCon in March. I did not submit anything to Spawn from Goodman Games because I'm busy and I'm tired. And I got a lot of other D&D games going on right now. So thank you for reminding me. All right. Well, I had fun. I thought that was great. I hope you all had fun. I hope the audience had fun. Thank you for the bits and your attention and your time. It's always appreciated. And we'll see you somewhere on one of these channels where we all appear now and again. So
yeah, fun to hang out on a not school night on a Friday night.
Yeah, thanks everybody. Have a good night. We are. Oh wait, can we raid? Who's live? Who's live? Anyone?
Defenders of Cabal.
Yeah,
Defenders?
Defenders.
No Norcalian, no TT2KB. We can rate.
Yeah,
well,
yeah.
Legio's on.
Is he?
Went on. Yeah.
Oh, I thought he was
He really needs to get to affiliate. So
yep.
We're gonna go help him. We're gonna try to help him out.
Heck yeah.
Legio's on. Okay.
All right, we're gonna raid.
Super cool guy.
I love hanging out in his channel. He's so funny. He has some amazing voices in him because he was just making voices for Pokemon the other day, and it was perfect. I was like, that's the perfect voice for that character. Oh my god! All right, 6 viewers. We're gonna raid now. Raid. We can stop the stream. The raid is on.